Well, guys, after today's trade, we officially now know it's going to be the Trae Young show.
LeBron James all the way in.
And here comes Simmons the other way, 3-on-2. Simmons eludes the defender and lays it in with that. Certainly the length altered that shot. Not an equivalent steps.
Yo, what's up, guys? It's your boy Bernie here, bringing you another video here in the charge, giving you the latest NBA news and rumors and also basketball opinions. And before we get started on to today's topic, talking about the trade that just occurred between the Thunder and the Hawks, go and hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel. Also, go and check out our awesome NBA content. We have, of course, a video on a new fixer-upper, the Chicago Bulls. Check out how I would change that team, including the Wendell Carter Jr. move and also the Jabari Parker and what I think what could happen with that team. But right now, we got to talk about another team, and that is, of course, the Thunder and the Hawks. This is according to Adrian Wojnarowski of ESPN. The Atlanta Hawks have traded Dennis Schroeder and Mike Muscala to the Thunder for Carmelo Anthony in a protected 2022 first-round pick. It is expected that the Hawks are going to buy out Carmelo Anthony's contract so that he is able to choose a team of his choosing to join that team. And this is a smart move on both parties in this. If we look at the Hawks right now, they have so much cap space. They know they're in a rebuild. Why not just take that huge hit so that way in 2019, all that money can come off the books? And then you're set for the future with all the guys that you have on your roster, including, you know, probably going to be a top 10 pick in next year's draft. So get that going. You also have the free agency in 2019. So I think the Atlanta Hawks are in a good situation. The Thunder are also in a great situation because they save $100 million in luxury tax, which we all know that the owner hates paying luxury tax. That's the reason why James Harden wasn't able to stay on that team along with Serge Ibaka, Russell Westbrook, and Kevin Durant. And with that money saved, who knows what you could do with that? You also bring in guys like Dennis Schroeder and Mike Muscala, who are also great trade assets as well. Obviously, I don't think you're going to keep Dennis Schroeder because it doesn't make any sense to have Russell Westbrook, Paul George, and Dennis Schroeder. Unless, this is a big if, Dennis Schroeder is going to be playing the 1 and Russell Westbrook is finally going to be able to play the 2. If Russell Westbrook is able to change his game at the age of 29 or 30, I don't know how old he is, I can't remember. If he is able to change his game, then the Thunder can be something special. But if the Oklahoma City Thunder are not going to keep Dennis Schroeder, then this really doesn't do anything except save you luxury tax. Because the Thunder right now are in a very peculiar situation as they have 2 guys right now. Or 3, I should say, if you want to count them. You have Russell Westbrook, Paul George, and Steven Adams. I think you could do something with those guys along with Andre Robertson, who's not a bad player, but I don't think he's a guy that really helps them that much, even though he's a great defensive player. Not taking it away from the defensive side, it's just the offensive side, where I think he's going to have a big problem filling in those holes. But if you're able to add Dennis Schroeder and actually play him at the 1 and Westbrook at the 2, you could see something special there with Westbrook having to ease off the pressure of not handling the rock as much, not having to worry about assists. If he can just focus on his game, just get his buckets, get everything else that he needs, you know, rebounding as well. Assists can be, you know, up there, but not as much as Dennis Schroeder, I believe. And then you can let Dennis Schroeder focus on the assisting and then Paul George with the scoring load. Then I think you would have a very special team. But we're going to have a wait-and-see approach. And now we got to talk about Carmelo Anthony, because this is another interesting situation. With Carmelo Anthony going to the Houston Rockets potentially, this could be an interesting situation where you have 3 ball-stopping players. James Harden needs the ball in his hands. Chris Paul needs the ball in his hands, and so does Carmelo Anthony. Obviously, I think with Chris Paul, he was able to make it work, but with Carmelo Anthony, he is very mindset. He has a fixated mindset on what he wants to do in the offense or wherever he's at. He's going to shoot, he's going to take a jumper, he's going to try and jab mid-range jumper because his three-pointer right now is not on par. But I just don't see them working, and I think they're going to take a step back, especially if they decide to, you know, also sign other guys as well. I mean, they can now have officially they can have now the money to sign Clint Capella because, you know, Carmelo Anthony can sign for a mid-level exception or a minimum, veteran minimum, because he is going to get that guaranteed $27 million from the Atlanta Hawks. So it's not like it's no harm, no foul for Carmelo. It's basically playing for free, even though he's getting that 27 from the Hawks. I just don't think I trust the Houston Rockets this year, even though they're going to add some great players. They also lost Trevor Ariza, who I think was a big part on that team. And because you lost him and replacing him with Carmelo, who's not even a great, even 25% of the defender that Trevor Ariza was, I don't think it's going to work out. But I think the other 2 teams, the Hawks and the Thunder, they have enough room. They have made plenty good moves here, and I think it's going to be an interesting thing for them, as I think the Thunder are the biggest winners for me in this trade, as they are able to do multiple different things that they want to. Next, followed up by the Hawks, because now it just adds more cap space to them so that next year they can just decide, you know what, now we're ready to pick up free agents. We're ready to make Atlanta, Georgia the hot spot for players, NBA players specifically, to go there. You have the Migos as the brand ambassadors. You have virtual golf. You have a new arena, everything, the organist. You have everything going for you in Atlanta. There's also a lot of fickle fans there. But if you're able to turn around and make this franchise very Atlanta-like and also make its own spin on it, then you can see the Atlanta Hawks become a place of destination for NBA players, as I believe it's California and Atlanta, Georgia, where most of the NBA players kind of off-season vacation. That's where their homes are at. So if the Atlanta Hawks can change that turnaround, make themselves a little bit more inviting, make it so there's not many fickle fans, like LA fans, it looks like mostly, that are in Atlanta that cheer for any NBA team. Let's change that culture, and I think next year you're going to see that maybe potentially if this Trae Young thing and John Collins, who's obviously playing very well at the Summer League and one of the points per game leaders, if they're able to change that culture, you could see something special in Atlanta pretty soon. You never know what can happen. But anyway, guys, that's just my opinion. I want to know your guys' opinion down below. Who's the biggest winner in this trade? Who's the biggest loser in this trade? And also, if Carmelo Anthony's on the Houston Rockets, are they going to be better or worse than they were last year? I'd love to know your guys' opinions. But anyway, guys, this has been your boy Bernie here on The Charge, giving you the latest NBA news and rumors, also basketball opinions. Go and hit that like button. Go and hit that subscribe button. I'll catch you all in the next video. Peace.